Caribbean kitchen, foods offer 7 unique blends of premium, low-sodium Jamaican seasoning that will add a burst of flavor to your dishes. Our authentic all-natural Jamaican seasonings are a game changer when it comes to adding a burst of flavor to your dishes. Our products are kosher, all-natural, contains ingredients that are gluten-free and GMO-free. Our seasonings are handcrafted with the highest quality ingredients. We source our ingredients from the Caribbean to capture the authentic taste of the islands. Unleash your creativity in the kitchen and savor the taste of the Caribbean with our spice blends. Enjoy our variety of seasonings that are flavor-packed to deliver the best taste for your dishes. Get ready to create delicious meals that will excite your taste buds and leave your guests asking for more. Try our exclusive curry and jerk seasonings for an extraordinary cooking experience. Our blends are an excellent choice for chicken, meat, fish, and vegan dishes. Add a burst of flavor to your cooking with our top quality Jamaican seasonings. Grab one of our bundles and enjoy the taste of the islands.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahuwah thy Elohim, to observe to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that Yahuwah thy Elohim will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahuwah thy Elohim. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be the basket and thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. And Yahuwah shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee from before thee 7 ways. And Yahuwah shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and in all thou settest thine hand unto. And he shall bless thee in the land which Yahuwah thy Elohim giveth thee. And Yahuwah shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of Yahuwah thy Elohim, and walk in his ways. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of Yahuwah, and they shall be afraid. And Yahuwah shall make thee plenteous in goods, in the fruit of thy body, in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy ground, in the land which Yahuwah sware unto thy fathers to give thee. And Yahuwah shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven, to give the rain unto the land in his possession, and to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. And Yahuwah shall make thee the head and not the tail. And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath, if that thou hearken unto the commandments of Yahuwah thou Elohim, which I command thee this day, to observe them and to do them. And Thou shalt not go aside from any of these words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods, to serve them. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahuwah thy Elohim, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. And cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. And Yahuwah shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, until thou perish quickly. Because of the wickedness of thy doings whereby thou hast forsaken me, Yahuwah shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. Yahuwah shall smite thee with consumption, and with fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. And the heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. Yahuwah shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee, until thou be destroyed. Yahuwah shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed unto all the kingdoms of the earth. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air, and unto the beast of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. And Yahuwah shall smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou cannot be healed. And Yahuwah shall smite thee with madness and blindness, and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Thou shalt betroth a wife, but another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. And thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. And thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken from before thy face, and shall not be restored unto thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them, all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, and thou shalt see. And Yahuwah shall smite thee in the knees, in the legs, with a sore botch that cannot be healed. From the sole of thy feet unto the top of thy head, Yahuwah shall bring thee, and thy king which thou hast set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations whither Yahuwah shall lead thee. And thou shalt carry much seed out unto the field, and shalt gather but little, for the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat it. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all the coasts, but thou shalt not anoint themselves with the oil, for thine olive hath cast his fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. All the trees, and the fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahuwah thy Elohim, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Because thou servest not Yahuwah thy Elohim with joyfulness, and with gladness of heart, and for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahuwah shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. Yahuwah shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. He shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed. Which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kine, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest, throughout all the land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all the land, which Yahuwah thy Elohim has given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, and the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which Yahuwah thy Elohim have given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherein thine enemies shall distress thee, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness wherein thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and the delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for the delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear. For she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahuwah thy Elohim, then Yahuwah will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long countenance, and sore sickness, and of long countenance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will Yahuwah bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. And you shall be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of Yahuwah thy Elohim. And it shall come to pass that as Yahuwah rejoiced over you to do good and to multiply you, so Yahuwah will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught, and you shall be plucked from off the land, whither you goest to possess it. And Yahuwah shall scatter you among all the people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there shalt thou serve other gods, which neither you nor your fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of your feet have rest, but Yahuwah shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, with Yahuwah it were even, and at even thou shalt say, with Yahuwah it were morning. For the fear of thine heart wherein thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. And Yahuwah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, that thou shalt see it no more again. There you will be sold unto your enemies, for bondmen and for bondwomen, and no man shall redeem you.